Welcome back to the Hustle Unfiltered podcast hosted by Kayla Serta and Jackson Mansuti,
where we dive into raw, unfiltered conversations about training, health, and fitness while navigating the challenges of life and business in our 20s.
Welcome back to another episode of Hustle Unfiltered.
Jackson running for the first time in his entire life.
Yeah, I'm not a runner, what can I say? I'm a front runner though.
Unlocked a new gem.
Oh, Eshays.
It's a pretty gem.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Hustle Unfiltered. We are brought to you by our new sponsors, Front Runner.
Velocity, I wish. One day.
Nice.
One day, that would be really, really cool.
It's going to happen, don't worry. Putting good vibes out there, just like I did with the apartment. So, for anyone that doesn't know, we've obviously mentioned we've got the new apartment.
Yep.
We're still obviously waiting on the move-in date, which is exciting. So we should be looking at July. So you'll see an update in a studio very, very soon. Are you excited for it?
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to going to a new area, getting out of my comfort zone.
Getting out of the east. It's so funny, like, people, like, when I put the rental thing up, people are like, oh, no, like, where you going, man? Like, that's so upsetting. I'm like, bro, I'm, like, very happy about it. Like, not mad to get out of the eastern suburbs.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. It's still not too far away where I'm like, oh, my God, I miss my family. So it'll be good.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff.
And a nice apartment, too.
Yeah, brand new apartment.
So we love that.
How's the prep going? Give us an update.
This is technically end of week 7 because it is Friday. I feel like a little bit delulu, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I have noticed it, definitely.
Like, I feel like my brain capacity is not working sometimes. Like, I feel good. Like, I definitely am, like, tired by the end of the night. Like, I've noticed being able to fall asleep has been a lot easier because I'm genuinely, like, quite cooked by the time bedtime rolls around. And, like, I'm still sleeping well, like, getting at least, like, 7 to 8 hours each night, which is good. Probably waking up, like, a couple times throughout the night, but just more, like, I think I'm worrying if I've missed my alarm or something. Like, it's nothing really crazy.
It's not like you have anywhere to bed.
No, literally, I'm not on a time crunch, but for some reason it happens. But overall, I feel good. Also having a refeed at the moment, so...
Lovely. Bit of offset of some fatigue.
Yeah, just reduce some stress on the body. You know, based on what my feedback has been with my coach is also that we are quite, like, a week or two ahead of schedule in terms of just how my progress is looking at the moment. So...
And you do look very different.
Yeah, I feel more gaunt in my face as well. That's how I know. I'm like, oh, yeah, you're prepping now.
Me, on the other hand, opposite.
Yeah. You're going to be like Violet from the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I'm going to be a water blue.
Yeah. But no, it's good. Day 2 of the refeed. So just introduce more carbs into my days. It's like a 400 cal increase for the next 4 days, which is good. Body weight has maintained so far after a high day yesterday, high day today. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm keen to train legs tomorrow with some fucking energy. Like, not just, like, fighting demons, but, like, fighting demons with energy.
Fighting demons with energy. I like it. All right, well, we've got some topics for today. Well, we've got one overboard topic, and then we're going to go into some dot points within that topic. So, basically, today we're going to cover some of the biggest myths around training and what people... Now, Kayla doesn't know these, so she's going to be off the cuff here. And essentially, like, we're just going to go through what we believe and our opinion. Obviously, not everyone needs to agree with us, but we, based off our experience, based off our knowledge, we believe these to be very, very true. And our results in ourselves and our clients are a living proof of that. So I'll kick things off. The first one is that you have to barbell squat to build big legs.
It's a myth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's you should squat or do a squat movement pattern.
I agree.
In your program to build nice, strong, well-developed legs. But do you need to squat with a barbell? Absolutely not.
I mean, look, we've obviously, like, had the discussion, like, how my legs have grown in the past couple of months.
Yeah.
And it's like I've not touched a barbell in probably a year.
Yeah, I haven't barbell squatted since 2023.
Yeah, I think definitely, like, the squat pattern is a essential movement for muscle growth in the lower body, whether it's glutes or quads, like, you know.
Yeah, like doing a hack squat, a pendulum squat, a leg press, a goblet squat if that's what you need. Like, it's still important and it still plays a role for overall, like, quad and glute development, but I think people put too much of an emphasis on a singular movement itself.
Yeah.
And not only that, like, a barbell squat is like a highly technical movement. And like it requires time and patience to learn it, just like anything. But, you know, if someone wants to build as much muscle as they possibly can in 12 months, get them on an exercise where they can learn the skill of the movement pretty quickly. They can actually load it up and train it close to failure as well. They're going to get a greater return of that over spending 6 months learning how to barbell squat and then gradually increasing the weight, going through the fear of failing with a barbell on your back and no one there. And
100%.
like there's just so much more to it.
Yeah, I think if your goal is to get really good at barbell squatting,
Different story.
you need to do it. But it's like, you know, if your goal is to build muscle in the most efficient and fastest way possible, then it's not really a necessary movement. Like people get married, and this can go to any exercise whatsoever. People marry themselves to an exercise and like contribute all of their progress to a singular exercise. The unfortunate side of things is that there's never going to be a singular exercise that is going to contribute solely to one muscle group.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be a multifactorial thing. And you have to understand that if there is a movement that you enjoy doing, and it could be the barbell squat, but if there's a movement that you enjoy doing that you can progress over a long period of time and you can take close to failure, then that's very, very important. And I think that last point is also really important in regards to the barbell squat as well, because your ability to try and get close to failure on a barbell squat is going to be a lot harder compared to a hack squat. Because the hack squat is very stable. You know, if you fail, it's just like you just don't get up.
Yeah, you just sit down.
Yeah, exactly. With the barbell, it's like there's more...
There's greater risk of injury with that.
Greater risk of injury. There's other exercises, like other muscles at play that are sort of contributing to that stable movement or the stability of the movement, and they're more likely going to fail first before your actual legs.
Yeah.
That was good. We did well there. Go us.
Slay us. We know what we're talking about.
We actually do.
I would have thought we've been coaches for the last 4 years.
Number 2. So more sweat equals more progress.
I actually hate sweating in my sessions.
I mean, I sweat all the time. I'm sweating right now.
Like the time of my life where I sweat the most when I train, where I chase the sweat, I looked the worst.
Yeah, I guess we could even like flip that and tweak that to even say like tiredness, like chasing tiredness.
Yeah, chasing the burn. It's like chasing the high rep, high heart rate, the sweat, the burn, like all this sort of stuff, making it feel like you did something. Like I think that's a big thing. It's like you walk away with like those endorphins or whatever, but it's like that's not playing a role in the physique goal if you're chasing muscle growth or changing your physique.
Where do you see your clients, or where have you seen in the past yourself or your clients sort of like an example of that? Is it like doing the 20 rep sets or doing the...
It's like being married to doing the cardio classes still while they're training. That was me. Like I trained twice a day for a solid year because I was like, I built muscle in the morning and now I need to lose the fat in the afternoon and go get a sweat on to feel like I've done something productive for the day. And it's like, you know, I think it's cool to want to have those endorphins, and like I can understand that feeling because it's like you feel good after you do some level of cardio or like high rep stuff. But like that's a in the moment. I feel like people need to understand like that's an in the moment thing. It's not really going to contribute. Heart health, yes, but to the other side of things, long term, it's not really going to do anything.
Yeah, well, I think it comes down to like what's your actual goal here, and it's like, is it to grow muscle? Because if that's the case, your burning feeling is not contributing to that. But if your goal is to increase your cardiovascular health, then sure, like go for it.
Yeah.
But I think even in cases that I've seen where it's like, I see it with guys mostly when it comes to abs.
Yeah.
It's like if I train abs and get the burn on the abs, it's like it's working. It's like that's not going to get you abs, man. It's like it's going to build your abdominal muscles, but it's like that's actually just going to like make you feel tired and not actually build your like help you reduce body fat.
Yeah.
So it's even just like that idea where doing the 20 rep sets or doing the cardio classes is going to contribute to fat loss when it's just not the case.
Yeah.
You know?
I think a big one is just like understanding what does hard work or what does like it mean to you. Like I think for me, when I understood that, no, to get to that goal, training hard means not sweating or like not chasing a sweat. It means, did I walk away from the set knowing I gave it my all? Did I apply myself in every rep? Was my technique really good? I think you need to change your perspective on like what is deemed as like work for the goal as well.
Well, that's actually a good thing to touch on. Like, what would you consider let's say just walking away from a set to deem it a successful set? Because I think a lot of the people that come into our programs and our coaching will sometimes in the early stages not know whether or not what they're doing is actually contributing to the goal. So I guess like what sort of feedback would you give to someone where they're like, Kayla, listen, I'm doing this, but like, how do I know that that set was sufficient?
Yeah. Well, I think like first you want to look at like what the set was. So if you film your list, this is obviously a great way to
100%.
know. And that's why I still encourage everyone to film their list, regardless if your technique is perfect or not, is to look at the intensity, because that's the only way you're also going to know if you're training hard enough. So it's like if we're comparing like the first couple reps to the last few reps of a set, it's like, the reps slowing down unintentionally. Can you see like your physical appearance being under stress? Like, do you look like you're struggling, and not in a dramatic?
Are you the color of your set right now?
Yeah, like is your face red? Like, are you like? Can we see you're like taking your time trying to get your breath back? Maintaining great technique, like, and even like on the last rep or even when you finish your set, it's like, can you walk away being confident and be honest with yourself of like, I know I gave that my all. Regardless, like not even necessarily like I trained to failure and I failed the last lift and I left nothing left in the tank, whatever. It's just like, I know I applied myself in every single rep. Or did you get to rep 5 and you're like, I'm fucking over this, let me just bang out the last 3 and like call it a day.
Yeah.
And where you're now left after the set being like, oh, I probably could have pushed harder, but like, you know, can't be fucked.
Yeah, I agree. I think usually what I'll tell my guys is like, you know, when you're going into the set, like, is your first rep and your last rep a different speed? Is it slowing down involuntarily? Are you, and I always use this analogy, which is just the simplest one to use. It's like gun to your head. It's like, how many more reps could you have done?
The amount of times I said that to my girls face to face, I'm like, gun to your head, could you have done another one?
Yeah, it's like gun to your dog.
Yeah.
What could you have done? It's like, it sounds extreme, but it's always like, it's just a great gauge because you know that when you put your mind in that setting, you're going to apply it with a different mindset.
Yeah. It's like, not like mind over matter, but like your body or your mind is going to want to give up before you actually can. So it's like if you're under pressure of like, do or die, you will fucking do. Yeah,
and the other thing that I always say to my guys is like, I want you to not pretend because this is the truth, but I want you to actually just think that the first 8 to 9 reps of your set don't actually contribute anything to your muscle growth, but those last 3 to 4 reps where you're grinding them out are the most stimulating, contributing reps to your overall physique. So if you actually just flip the switch and just walk into your sessions knowing that the first 8 reps of my sets don't actually do anything other than just make me tired enough to a point where the last 4 actually matter, your whole mindset around your training will change because you'll know that, like I had a guy in my check-in say, oh, you know, like I'm not staying within the rep ranges. I'm like, good. Like, I don't care. They're there just as a guide. Yeah. Like if you're training hard enough, that tells me that you're actually going hard because you're not able to hit the rep range or you're surpassing the rep range to go to a point of intensity that's good enough. Yeah. You know? And I think if you can sort of go with that mindset, your training will improve a lot.
Yeah, 100%. I was going to say something and I fucking lost it.
Was it around the rep ranges?
No.
That prep brain really be kicking in right now.
Yeah, it's giving Dory. Like, call me Finding Dory, honestly. It'll probably come to me in 10 minutes.
Well, this one's like another good segue into it, but if you're not sore, you didn't train hard enough. And I feel like we both, from a coaching perspective, deal with this one a lot.
I remember what I was going to say.
Oh, go.
Well, just to circle back to that, because I think it's important to preface that you're probably still going to have times where you don't walk away from your set knowing that you gave it your all.
Yeah.
I think it's important to preface that. Like, even for example, last week when we did the squats together, my first set, I was like, I could have done more.
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, you could have done like another 2. And I was like, fuck, okay. Next set, we leave nothing left on the table.
Yeah.
So I think it's like, also don't feel like shit if sometimes you do have that. It's just like, use that as an opportunity to like, okay, I know I could have done more. That's a sign that I didn't give it my all. Yeah. Now apply myself in the next set as well.
Another thing on that, because obviously we can talk about this for ages, but I usually say is like, if I will usually look at someone's like numbers on their 2 or 3 sets or 4 sets, and there's usually a drop off in weight and reps over the course of the 3 or 4 sets. I usually see that as a good thing because it's like there is a very rare occasion where usually someone would be able to do a really hard set and back it up the next set with the same load and the same reps.
Yeah.
Like how many times do we, like you do 3 sets on the pendulum squat. It's like you probably get maybe the same set and rep on the first 2 sets, but that last set.
The last set, I'm deceased.
Yeah, there's no way that your body's able to produce the same amount of force every single time. So I think that's actually a really good gauge as well. Like on those compound lists, like there should be a drop off.
That, and also if your reps aren't perfectly 10, 12 every single set. That was the biggest thing for me. That was like, I
need to see some 9s and 11s.
Yeah. Like it wasn't honestly until I started training with Jason that I let go of the need to have to hit the rep range perfectly every single set.
Yeah, 100%.
Like 9 would never touch that number. It's like I will either stop a rep short or I will just attempt to get 10.
And then he's got his programming where it's 10, 8, 7.
Yeah. So honestly, like that was the biggest thing, and that has contributed so much as well. Like I think just going into the mindset of like, go for the extra rep, or if you are not getting the rep range or you go a little bit over or you go a little bit under, just like know that you're not like married to specifics. Like there is room to move on either side.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. I think like what we could just take away from that overall is just like effort over everything. Like that is like the main thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving on to the next point. We may not even get through all these because we're just giving so much information. But I say, yeah, so essentially if you're not sore, you didn't do anything. So what's your thoughts on that?
I think soreness can be helpful for, especially obviously if you're learning either a new skill, a new movement, want to make sure you're feeling the right muscle. I think it can play a role in just giving you like that feedback of like, cool, we're hitting the nail on the head there, or we got the technique down pat, things like that. But it shouldn't be something you chase every single session, every single week. Very similar to like the sweat. It's like, if you're constantly sore, it can have more of a negative effect than a positive. It's going to affect your next session. Your recovery is obviously being impacted by something. Maybe you're not eating enough. Maybe you're not sleeping enough. Like it's more than just, oh, I'm a bit sore. Like I did a great workout. It's like there's something else happening here. But I think like having some sort of tenderness after a session or like a day later, perfectly fine, is going to happen with a new training block, a new movement added. When you're dieting, I've noticed I'm more sore than normal. And like that can happen, but if you are constantly like struggling to sit down on the toilet, that's a problem.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, we've obviously heard this analogy so many times in regards to soreness, but maybe some of the people listening haven't. But it's almost like if you go for a run and you haven't ran in like 6 months, like or whatever, like me, you would know that you get sore after that. But does that directly correlate to muscle growth? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So while yes, it's like you need to take it with a grain of salt, I always say if you're never sore, something's wrong. If you're always sore, something's wrong.
Yeah.
There's a happy medium between the two. Like I think, as you said, it's always good feedback to know, okay, like I trained legs, my legs are tender, they're sore. I must have done something to target those muscles. But as you said, it's not something that should be chased, and it doesn't directly correlate with muscle. Yeah.
Like when I'm applying effort in a training session, I'm like, I'm not thinking, I need to go hard so I'm sore tomorrow. It's like, I need to go hard because this is what is building the muscle. And as a result, I can be a little bit tender. I can be a little bit sore the next day. And it is what it is.
Yeah. And like, not to get too deep into the science of it because I'm a bit of a fucking nerd, but the actual reaction that occurs through soreness does not directly correlate with the same that occur with muscle growth, to put it simply. They're like two different systems almost. Well, they're two different reactions occurring within the body. So it's like just worth knowing that if you're constantly chasing the soreness, you're going to kind of be led down a road that's actually not going to contribute to your progress.
Yeah.
Cool. We did good on that one.
Slay.
All right, next one. Is there such thing as hard and easy programs?
No.
I like this one.
Quick little intermission because the mic's died.
Sorry, post-production editing, color grading.
Easy versus hard programs. You can make any program as easy or as hard as you want it to be?
Yeah, I have this conversation a lot with my clients, especially some of them who like tend to, like we all sometimes overthink our programming, and when you're in it, you obviously can get emotional with it as well because it's like your progress. So I think it's a very fair like sort of concern to have. But in my opinion, the program is only ever as hard as you make it.
Yeah. I believe a program can be extremely complex or simple as fuck. But the actual effort applied to it, or like how much progress you can get from it, will always come down to how much effort you put into it.
Yeah, like I think a great example of that is when you had your program, maybe it was like last program or something like that, where you only had 4 exercises on your leg day.
Yeah, not the last program. The program before, when Jason brought my sessions up from 2 leg days to 3, I've done 4 exercises ever since. It's only the last program and this program I'm doing 5.
Yeah.
And that was for like a year all throughout my build.
Yeah, and I think anyone who's untrained or isn't experienced in the gym would look at 4 exercises in a program and think, well, fuck.
That's not enough.
That's not enough. But, I mean, I've obviously watched you go through it and execute that program, and it was a tough session.
I'd still be in the gym sometimes for like 90 minutes.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm dying.
Yeah, especially if that program or those exercises are like lying leg curl, hack squat, reverse lunge, seated leg curl. Like those are fucking hard exercises.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think even as a guy, it's like, and this is where you need to zoom out for a second and look at the overall broad view of the program. It's like if you're doing 4 exercises, but you're doing 3 leg days a week, it's like if you're doing 6 exercises on 3 leg days a week, that's fucked.
Yeah, you're absolutely not going to be training hard enough, or you're not going to be able to apply yourself as hard as you think you could. Like, I think that's the one thing for girls especially is like you're so used to doing 6 or 8 exercises. Like, I think a really good example of this is one of my clients before we worked together. She was doing a subscription app, and it was like a glute focus program, blah, blah, blah. And it was like 8 exercises, 4x12 of everything. And she's like, I've literally been lifting like 6 kilos for lunges for so long, or 8 kilos. And like within her first training block, I think we got up to like 15 each hand, or like 17.5 each hand. And that's because she did less overall in her session. Even the sets, she did less sets, but she was able to apply herself better. So that's going to give her a greater return than doing 4 sets of 12 of 8 exercises, lifting the 4 kilo dumbbells every week.
Yeah, I agree. And I think like a great example is like when we watched Julia's YouTube video yesterday.
Yeah.
Like one of the like we just watched, again, context required.
Another American YouTuber / bodybuilder.
Yeah, another YouTuber we're watching some of her training, and like, it wasn't a way that we subscribe in terms of programming and training. But one of the things I did mention about that was like, it's interesting that, there's more than one way to skin a cat, but we all sort of get to the same destination. Arguably, some are better than others, in my opinion. But I think obviously you can do 7 exercises in a session and maybe still get the result, but what for?
Yeah.
Like,
what's the point in that? It's like, can you not get away with doing less and getting more out of it?
100%, yeah.
And like, I think another thing as well, I know even for myself and even like some of the girls I work with, is like getting used to not actually always being in the gym. Like even spending less time in the gym or doing less to get more out of it means there's more space for other things in life. And I think that can also be a very big like feel a little bit unsure with, because the gym is such a good mental place for a lot of people as well.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that, but it's like, in my opinion, I'd rather be more intentional with my time.
Oh yeah, same.
It's like,
I think that's a big mindset block that a lot of people can have when they know, like, oh, I could do less and get more out of it, but like, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, the next one after that is actually more is better, which is obviously like we don't agree with.
Yeah.
So I think it's like, if you're someone who's like trying to make as much progress in a short amount of time, you don't always need to look at it as though like doing more is going to be better, or, doing less exercises or doing simple exercises. Even as you said, exercises can be complex, programs can be complex. Like, there's sometimes where I'll throw in, the supersets, the drop sets, the rest pauses, but like I barely even do that.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever done a drop set in my life.
I've done a drop set, and look, it's fun. Like, I think for guys, they look to those, because I think for guys, when it comes to things like training arms and stuff like that, they'll always look like, oh yeah, the burn. But it's like,
Yeah.
you probably wouldn't do that on any other muscle group.
Well, I just think like, what would you do a drop set on for a lower body session? Maybe like leg curls, maybe like a hip thrust. But I'm like, the effort I'd have to go to like play around with the exercise and the weights and like maneuvering shit. I'm like, I'd rather just give 3 hard sets a crack and
Yeah.
on you go.
That's it. I think we should probably also talk about like the more is better type thing as well. So like more days in the gym, more like it's a good segue. What's your opinion on that? Is more days in the gym better? Obviously, we agree that the more exercise isn't better, but what do you think on like time in the gym, more days?
I don't think more is better. I think you need to be realistic with your schedule. Like realistic with your schedule, realistic with your commitments, and even like if you do not know how to train hard or you do not apply yourself already with 3 sessions, you do not need to do 4, you do not need to do 5 because you are just adding an extra 2.5, 3 hours to your week of piss poor effort. And it's just like, learn to make the most of those 3 sessions first or 4 sessions first before you consider adding an extra one.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it's the same thing. It's just like I'm already giving, say, 40% effort to 3 sessions. Instead of looking at how can I get 100% out of it, I'm just going to now add 2 more sessions and get another 40% out of those.
Yeah, and I think it's worth noting, like, and we're not just saying this to bias our opinion or to confirm how we feel, but it's like I've seen people and I've coached people get amazing results on 3 days of training.
Yeah.
But it's just like, how are you applying those 3 days of training and what are you doing outside of the gym? And I think this is another great topic to contribute to that progress. It's like, if you're in the gym, you're training hard as fuck 3 days a week, like let's just throw example, upper, lower, upper, whatever, or if you're a girl, lower, upper, lower. It's like you're getting a sufficient amount of work in to grow. But outside of that, what are you doing? Getting your steps in, prepping your meals, getting good recovery in, spending time away from the gym.
Yeah.
It's like, that is a recipe for success.
Yeah. I think, the mindset of being more time in the gym, like you're literally in the gym for max 5 hours a week. Yeah. What about, I don't know the maths, but the rest of the hours in the week that you need to also look at? I think people put too much of an emphasis on the training. I agree, you still need to apply yourself in your training. You still need to give it your all. But like, put that time and effort and energy elsewhere.
Yeah.
Because the reason you aren't seeing the results isn't because you're not doing 4 or 5 days a week. It's because your nutrition is probably shit, your recovery is shit, and you're probably trying to make up for it with runs, cardio classes, Pilates, all this extra stuff. Crash dieting, eat clean Monday to Friday, blow out on the weekend, whatever it may be. It's like, if you put all that time and effort into figuring out, should I do 4 or 5 days to those other areas, you would make more progress in the next 6 months than you have in the last 2 years.
Yeah, 100%. And you can apply that to like, almost like I always use an analogy that's away from training because it's like a little bit less emotional. It's just like, even look at it at your job. It's like you work Monday to Friday, right? It's like outside of that, when you're outside of work, unless you have extra work that needs to be done, like you're spending time away from it. And that's important. It's like, go to work, do the intentional work while you're there, come home, do everything else that's going to support that. Sleep, recover, do all that sort of stuff so you can go to work the next day and execute it well. It's the same thing with training. You just need to remove that emotional bias from it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Should we continue or?
Yeah, I reckon we should continue. Was that 4?
That's 4.
I got time. We've got like half an hour. I reckon we can squeeze out of this.
Okay, the next one is high reps equals toning, low reps equals bulking.
I should be so fucking massive if that was true. Like, I should be a humongous person if that was true.
Yeah, I think like it's even funny because like usually the stigma is around like females like not wanting to get bulky. Whereas, like, I have conversations with guys, like, saying, I don't want to get too big, I don't want to get massive. It's like, brother, I've been trying to get massive for that fucking long. The shit that I put my body through to get fucking massive, you have no idea how hard it is.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to go on a tangent here, but it's like, I think this is a stigma more so around guys, but it's like, people, I think the culture, unfortunately, around fitness at the moment is people attributing things to like, that guy takes gear or he does this or that. Do you know how fucking hard it is, even as an enhanced person to still get that big.
Yeah.
It takes years. It takes time. It takes effort to do that. It's like, fuck the rep range. It's like you have no idea what it takes to get to that level of size, let alone as a female saying, I don't want to get too big either.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't matter.
Nah. But not only that, I think like when I think of the word bulky, if I was to put myself in the position of a girl thinking that, it's okay, I'm a bigger human with more body fat. And that's still always going to come back to your nutrition.
Yeah.
It's like you can do 20 reps, you can do 8 reps. If you still eat like a child, that's what's going to make you bulky.
Yeah.
Because you're just going to put on more weight. Whereas if you actually eat in alignment with your goal, whatever, train, whether you do lower reps or a little bit of higher reps, but you're still training with intention and that intensity is there, that's what's going to create that look that you want
100%.
over time as well.
Yeah.
It's not a process within 6 weeks. Same thing, like I still want to be bigger. Like I'm still not as big as I want to be. Like we want more muscle and that takes time. Like but you're not going to sit here and say, I look bulky.
I mean, like I've watched you do 5 reps on a set. I've watched you do 6, 7, all the way up to 15 to 20. Very rarely.
Very rarely do 20.
But like the reality is like, as we sort of mentioned previously in the other point, it's like the rep ranges are there just for as a guide. What matters is the intensity. So, you know, if you're sitting there thinking the rep range is what's going to dictate how you look, it's not at all. It's more so, as we've sort of mentioned, everything else around the training that's going to dictate that. And obviously the training is like, you know, contributing to that too. But I think if people sort of realize that training is almost like one of the lesser contributors to your physique, you would understand that it's more so everything else around it.
Yeah. Well, I would slightly disagree with that.
Oh, say less. Let's go.
No, I literally said this to a client the other day where it was we were talking about training, nutrition, fat loss, whatnot. And I was like, I know a lot of people say like your abs are made in the kitchen. Like everyone puts a lot of emphasis on your nutrition. And it's like, that is absolutely true. For any goal, yes, your nutrition needs to be 100%, but I agree, so does training.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's 20-80. It's like you get out what you put in.
Yeah, look, I agree with that. I think the more so the angle that I'm coming at it is if you're thinking that
the training's the be all end all.
And if you're not doing anything else around it and you're saying, well, I'm doing 6 reps, so I'm going to get bulky, but you know, your eating is shit. It's like, as you said, that's what's going to make you look bulky. So you're going to get bigger, you're going to put on body fat, and therefore you're not going to be happy with how you look.
Yeah.
I think you need to treat the training as a big contributing factor, but if your other ducks aren't in order, then it's not going to do shit. That was a pretty easy one. I think the last one we can finish off with, which is like a good one, is more cardio equals more fat loss.
It's a fucking lie.
Look, I think cardio is a very useful tool in regards to fat loss.
It's a tool in the toolbox that can be used.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's the be all end all. And I think if you can get away with doing less, do it. Like the first photo shoot I did no cardio.
Yeah.
My food was low.
Same. I didn't do any cardio.
But like I didn't have to do it. Whereas now playing around with different tools in the toolbox, it's like my food's a little bit higher and I'm doing a little bit of extra cardio.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's the be all end all.
I think cardio, you need to look at it, as you said, it's a tool and there's a time to use it and there's a time when you probably don't need to use it. I think you need to assess what the goal is, the time frame, because cardio is a great way to sort of accelerate some sort of like output.
Yeah, it's a way of getting more done in a short amount of time. It's like going for a walk to get 20,000 steps. That might take you 2 hours in your day or 3 hours, whatever. But it's like if you hit 10K and do 30 minutes of cardio.
Yeah.
It's like that's obviously more time back in your day as well.
Definitely.
And like, you know, not everyone is going to have access to the cardio capacity that they can, and then others are going to be different. It's like when you mentioned, I think it was last week or the week before, like office workers, they can't be getting steps all day, every single day. Yeah. Cardio would be a tool required for them.
100%.
Whereas another person that's maybe very, very active in their job, they're already clocking like 15, 16K steps. Would adding an extra 20, 30, 40 minutes of cardio on top of that be necessary? Probably not initially. So...
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think as well, it's like when you look at it as from a perspective of like the energy balance side of things, so like your calories in versus calories out, it's like, okay, so we need to be in a deficit right? The cardio is just going to help increase that deficit. So if your calories are here at this, like, let's just say 2,000 calories, you reduce 500, that's 500 calorie deficit. You add 30 minutes of cardio, maybe you're in a 700 calorie deficit because of that added cardio as well.
Yeah.
So that's the way you need to look at it from just like an output perspective, rather than thinking cardio is what's going to burn
It's the
belly
magic
fat.
pill that's like stripping all the body fat literally with every single elliptical step. A centimetre of fat's gone.
Yeah, exactly right. I think that's good. I think we'll wrap it up there. Is there anything else you want to add to that, or?
Train like a fucking weapon. Train like a weapon, no matter if you're dieting, you're building, just fucking...
You know what's funny?
Don't be a little bitch in the gym.
I know you're prepping because the level of assertiveness you have in your voice at the moment, you're like, just fucking do it, bro.
No, what did I say last night, or was it the night before?
What?
We were talking about training. And I was like, just don't be a little bitch.
Yeah, that's the answer. Just don't be a bitch.
I can't remember what it was, but it was kind of funny. Because it's simple.
Yeah.
Train hard.
This is the real Kayla, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't be a little bitch. Train like a weapon.
We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.